Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You didn't know, my name is Smitty, and this is iRockinZ. We are in the middle of building a custom trans 700R4 for L2theW and his project Z28. Anyway, if you've been following along, we're in a little build process. As of this video, we finally got the missing link that we needed to put the input housing together, which is what we're going to do today. That storm that happened to go through up north put a dampener on all the shipments from just about everywhere, so it put everything behind. Took me forever to get this last piece, which was this ring right here. This is your 3/4 ply ring, and when you use a Raybestos Z-Pak, it requires a number 7 ring. And if you look, there's the number 7 right there. So we finally got the ply ring. We got our high performance blue pistons, your Z-Pak. We reused this hub. There's your input housing, your 3/4 return spring, your forward return spring, the forward sprag which goes in there. We've got a new boost spring kit for our I drew a blank, guys and gals. Anyway, those are your also your return springs for your 3/4. I drew a blank what they call them, but anyway, you get the idea. But then there's our springs, new ones. We'll need a bearing out of here. We got our retaining rings for the 3/4 and the forward, and then the retainer ring for this spring right here. Our Raybestos blue forward clutches, a new set of Raybestos steels, and a new wave plate. We're reusing the pressure plate, but it's alright. New Raybestos blue overruns, new steels, again reusing the pressure plate. And so yeah, you can see what we're going to use for parts. We're going to set this up, and only 2 clutches that you don't really check the overrun clutch for proper clearance or travel, because that's kind of a given the way it works. But we will be checking the forward clutch, and we'll be checking the 3/4 clutch. As I've told you, that you as I've said before, we're not going to soak the clutches and put them together. We're going to dry install them, so we can at least get the clearance measurements and get everything right there. And then once everything's all hunky-dory, then we'll take it back apart, and we'll put the clutches in a bath of ATF and let them soak, and we'll do the final assembly. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that, well, I guess it'd be on this side, the like button over here. It's one with a thumbs up, and smash that subscribe button for me. I really do appreciate it. And a quick disclaimer, y'all, there's many different ways of people putting these transmissions together. This is just my take of what I've learned over the years and how I do it. So it may not be in every agreement to the things that you see out there, but it is what it is. You guys find what works best for you. I'm just teaching you one way. So let's get on with the video, shall we? Alright, let's start by just kind of getting our parts out of the way. Throw this box away. Don't need this right away. Those right there. And those right there. Surfboard sprag off to the side. Springs out of the way. These, I really like these gloves. They're put out by SAS Safety Corporation, I think is what the name of. I left them a email, see if I could, you know, get some, and they have not responded, so don't know that I'll ever get a hold of them. Anyway, let's get our pistons out. Pretty. You always want to look at your stuff when you take it out and make sure that they're not damaged. Not that they would be, but you never know. And all this stuff looks good. All right. First things first, you're gonna have your 3/4 piston here, and it's going to go down in the case first. So put your little lube on there. Like that. Slide your piston down in there. Kind of like that. Alright, next thing to go in. Now, I'm going to stop right there because there's a seal. I've seen guys forget this seal, and to be honest with you, I just about did. I would have caught it, but there is a seal, and it used to be color coded. I say used to be, I don't think it is anymore. I don't think that's it. In the GM kits, they're green. But being as this is an aftermarket kit, I'd say it's probably not color coded. It's probably going to be this little dude right there. Yeah, that looks like it. And it goes right. Let me see if I can. You can see it through this hole. See right down there, that groove? That's where that dude goes. Oh, there you go. There's the groove. Right down there. There's that little seal that goes in that hole, in that groove. So don't forget that. Yeah, that was the right one. But like I said, the GM kits, they're green. But you can see the seal down in that groove right there. Very important. Okay. Next is going to be your apply ring for the 3/4. Just like that. Then your return spring sits right there. And then there's, like I said, there's several ways to put this together, but to me, I've put them together all as one piece. The way this works is you get a seal ring that seals here, and a seal ring that seals here. Okay? So go ahead and give it a little love, because you don't want to cut that seal, so it will leak. Now, bear in mind, this has got an orifice bleed right there, and there's one on this piston here. So that's to help it release faster. Alright, you got that one lubed up. Lube up this one. Then this piston goes in here. Like that. And then you get a seal surface here. And don't forget this seal right here. And while you're at it, go ahead and lube up this one. And don't forget your inner one. Now, I have one of the two seal installers, seal protectors. These are important, but you slide that dude over the top like that, and it'll protect the seal. Now these fingers that are on here, they coincide with the fingers that are on the apply ring. So if you got these in the same spot, you're in good shape. Kind of like that. Like I said, this seal protector is a lifesaver. They make one for this little one. I don't have it. Now, as long as you're easy with it, it'll go right in there. Make sure and lube it up. Okay. And slide your piston down in there. There you go. So there's that part. Now remember, the original ones of these were all aluminum. This is the upgrade. Now you can backdate all the transmissions that had the aluminum pistons. You can backdate with these molded pistons. In fact, it's a very good upgrade, no matter you're doing stock or performance. Alright, so once you get that in, grab your return spring. It sits on there like that. And then we need to press the thing together. One of these days I'm going to make a new one of these presses. One that fits this stuff a little better. Alright, press that dude down until you can expose the snap ring groove. That looks good there. All right. And there you go. There's your snap ring down in there. So that's good to go. Well, I don't know how this good this is going to work because I've lost my blow nozzle tip. But anyway, you can check this thing. Remember, you don't want to put full pressure on it, okay? But right there is your this hole's for your 3/4. This one on this land here is for your forward, and then the one at the top is your overrun clutch. On your 3/4, you will get air from this bleed hole right here. That's an orifice bleed. That's normal to get air from there. So you can check it. Just don't put a lot of air to it because you don't have any clutches in there. See that one moves? Okay, that's your 3/4. This one will be your forward. See it move? And I'm barely putting any air to these guys. Like I said, you don't want to overextend them and run the piston or the seal or the other. And then your last one is your overrun, and your overrun will cause the forward to move. Well, maybe not. Your overrun is the piston right there in the center. Also, on your overrun clutch, when you test this in the overrun clutch, it's normal to get cross bleed right here. That's not a big deal. All right, now we need to put some clutches in it. So we're going to start with our overruns because that's what goes in there first. So your overruns, I need to clean the oil off of these. They do have a wee bit of protective oil on them from shipping. This stuff right here, guys, is the best. It's a ZEP brake wash, and it works fantastic, and it doesn't kill you because of the fumes. All right. Put an overrun in there, and your teeth go in between the fingers on the 3/4. So put that in there like that. That clutch in there. Another steel. Another clutch. Then your pressure plate. This is also the pressure or the backing plate for the Ford. Now I didn't put, normally I would put the Ford sprag in there now, but since we are going to check clearances, I don't want to do that. So then on the Ford, I'm going to wipe these off too. Sorry about the background noise with the fan, y'all. It actually got warm down here in Florida today. And being as my shop has a tin roof on it with no insulation, it's like an easy bake oven. It gets warm in here. Plus I'm sure you guys would rather not see me sweating all over the top of these transmissions. I'd rather not do it anyway. Okay, the steel kit I got also came with a new wave plate, and if you look at you can look at the reflection on it, and you can actually tell that it's a wave plate. You may not be able to see it, but trust me, it's a wave plate. Anyway, so it goes in first. Again, the fingers have got to go in between the 3/4. Then you load a steel. Then your fiber. Steel. Fiber. Steel. Fiber. Steel, fiber, steel, fiber, and then your pressure plate. Okay? Now, the easy way to tell these two snap rings apart obviously is for size. Between the Ford and the 3/4, but the other way to tell is if you look at the end of this one, it's square cut on both sides, so that's going to be your Ford snap ring. Your 3/4 has a tang on it. So that's the way to tell that apart. Okay? Alright. Put your steel in there. Make sure you get the opening of the snap ring in between one of the fingers for the 3/4. You don't want it open there. All right. That clutch feels a little tight to me. So, let's see what we got here. Give it a couple of applies. Alright. It sounds solid enough. Okay, spec on this clutch is 30 to 63 thousandths. So, let's see what we can see what kind of clearance we got here. Alright, so we're going to try a 34 thousandths. And that goes in there just fine. Alright. Okay, so I got 34 thousandths, 180 degrees apart from each other, and I've got drag on it on both sides. So that clutch is good to go. Is I think what I say 34 thousandths or 30 to 63 thousandths. So you're allowed as tight as 30 thousandths and as loose as 63 thousandths. And I'm 34. So that feels pretty good. So that clutch is okay. So now we're going to do our 3/4 clutch. And let's start with swapping out these load springs. Got one more floating around. There it is. Just pull these springs out. Alright, get into our package of load springs here. Man, I couldn't think of what the name of that was earlier, and now it just plops right in my head. Load springs. Bag in a bag. You can see these things aren't much taller than the originals, but they're not wore out, so that's the biggest thing. And as you can see, these things should stick up above the housing. So that's a good one. So throw all these dudes away. Alright, then we're going to need to get into our Z-Pak. And this thing comes as a kit with both your top plate and your lower plate, and they give you instructions here too that are pretty simple to follow. And there it is. and they want the clearance on this 50 to 70 thousandths. And there's where it tells you that you want the number 7 apply ring. Alright, so get your grooved pressure plate that goes in first, and set these ears on top of these rings right here, just like that. Then you start with an outside spline, and you notice they've got a bigger gap here. And that's where it goes, where your load spring will sit down in between there. So it sits in there kind of like that. Alright, and just alternate inside and outside spline. Friction side goes up, if you didn't already gather that. Now this plate here is the one that they're saying this is an option to get the clearance where you want it. So we're going to put it in there for this time and take our measurement and see where we're at. Put your snap ring in. Alright, let's give it a couple of air checks. Alright. They want 50 to 70 thousandths clearance, so see what we come up with here. Get a 30, so we got a 20. There's a 21, so that'd be 51. So see if we can find another one of those. There's a 25. Got a 26 around there somewhere. 16. 22, 26. Alright, so there's 51. We got a alright. That's pretty snug. Snug, but I can get it in there. So that's 51 thousandths on either side, and it's got drag on it. Let's see if we can get it right at 50. There's a 23 and a 27. Okay, that's right at 50. Need to make sure you test this thing in the same spot too. 50 is in there, and that's the minimum spec. Let's take that, since that is as snug as it is, let's take that out. We're going to take that top plate out. See what that nets us. If it nets us over the 70, then we're going to put it back in. I think it's going to be too much. Yeah, that's like monstrous gap. So that's 50. So if we put a 20 in there, there's a 20. Yeah, that's way too loose. Even just with that one out, I mean, this thing is just all sorts of slop in there. So we're going to leave that in there. That dude back out, put that back in there. This is actually where you'd put your load springs in. They just sit down in these holes right here. Right there. There. And right there. Alright, now, last but not least, we're going to go over this. Dig out all your bearings here, and you've got a bearing that sits right here, okay, and looks like this one right here. See, it's got the ears on it. Those ears go down. Also, when you get one of these overhaul kits for 700, they will send you this seal here. This is the original style, and it's hard plastic. I mean, it doesn't have much give to it at all. I mean, it'll give, but not much. The updated one is this one here. It's soft rubber. Part number 8677-268. Okay? This backdates all of them. And if you see, this one's nice and pliable. It will go in here. And then this bearing right here will sit right on top of here. Okay? And then your forward sprag sits right on top of there. I find it easier to put this forward sprag in when you don't have to line it up with two sets of clutches. So let me show you what I mean. So take your 3/4 clutch back out. Okay. Pop your snap ring out for your forward clutch. Hard to do it in that position, sorry. Okay, pull that out, pull your forward clutch out. Like that. Then put your bearing in. Like I said, it sits right there. Put your forward sprag down in there. So it splines with that Overrun clutch. Okay. Then put your forward clutch back in. See, I got the forward sprag sitting in there, and I'm just splining everything up. Put your Helfer Stout snap ring back in. Okay. Put your 3/4 back in there. Okay. Load springs. Your thin retainer, then your top plate. And there you go. Now on the later models, this sun gear will stay in here, but this one doesn't have the retainer on it, so it doesn't matter either way. I mean, it'll work. But there you go, your Ford Sprague's in there, and that's how it should look. And we've taken all of our measurements, so hi y'all. So that's gonna do it for the input housing. I left the seals off for the reason because that's going to be in the part where we put the case together. So, excuse me, as you can tell, or as you've seen me do, I mean, we check our clearances on our clutch to make sure they're good. The 3/4 is a little on the tight side, but I mean, I'm not disappointed with it. The snap rings are, for the top, are not selective. So, you know, it taking what they wanted out, and I'm sure they want that thin piece in there for extra support to kind of hold the, because that top plate isn't very thick. But at any rate, that's it for the input housing for the for L2theW 700. So we're going to be on to the next one here before too long. Hope you all are learning something. Make sure to leave me a comment. Smash that like button down there in the corner. It's the one with a thumbs up. Subscribe for me, and I appreciate y'all coming along for the ride. y'all take care of yourself, take care of each other, and until the next video, God bless you and God bless America. Bye-bye.